Y'all, I can't believe that I am saying that I am no longer a mainline flight attendant, okay? I'm no longer a flight attendant. It's mind blowing, y'all. I am officially a full-time entrepreneur. I'm still processing it, okay? And I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this video today, all right? But I was shooting some other content and I was like, might as well, okay? So I just wanted to share my journey just a little bit, okay? I know here and there I've shared, a couple vlogs here and there, but I haven't really shared with you guys, what my life was truly like as a flight attendant and what that journey has been like, and all of that. And today I'm also going to be sharing why I decided to quit, right? What I considered one of the best, if not the best job in the world, or at least the best job that I have had, right? So I wanted to share a little bit with you guys in regards to my journey, why I decided to quit, and, share a little bit of tea. All right, so go grab your kombucha, grab your tea, whatever it is that you like to have while you're being entertained. All right. Well, hello, beautiful people. It's your girl, Shabivia, and welcome back to my channel. Listen, if you are new here, thanks for stopping by and hitting that play button, all right? On this channel, I share lifestyle, side hustle, and business gems that can help you improve the quality of your life and business. Y'all, today's episode is a little bit different because I'm going to be sharing with you my journey, my journey to quitting, okay? Quietly quitting, or quiet quitting, as they say, all right? I guess I'm a part of that percentage of what they considered the Great Resignation last year. Apparently last year, millions of Americans quit their job. But anyway, that's beside the point. Y'all, I am now a full-time entrepreneur on purpose. I decided to quit my amazing mainline flight attendant job, okay? And for those of you who follow me maybe on Instagram or even here on YouTube, you may have known or had a guess, a slight idea of what airline I was with, but I won't disclose that on this channel. Before I really get into the video, please do note that what I am sharing is my personal experience, right? What I've encountered, my personal opinion, and it has nothing to do with the company, or I am not by any means speaking on behalf of other flight attendants and all of this, okay? I also can't speak on behalf of different airlines, okay? I'm only basing my experience from the airlines that I was a part of, okay? And this video is not to, bash any airlines or anything like that. That is not what this video is about, because I believe that I was with a phenomenal company, actually considered one of the best places to work, benefits and all of that. One of the main reasons, I decided to leave, I decided to quit, not necessarily because I thought it was like a poor work environment or anything like that, but it was time for me. You guys, I remember flying a lot of times, being in the air, and I just felt like I was doing the same thing over and over, and I felt somewhat like I was somewhat wasting my time. Like I was at a point where I was really growing my businesses and building my business, and all I would think about while I'm in the air is my business, the next thing to do, the next thing on my to-do list, the next thing that I can create, the next project that I can be working on. Like that's all I would be thinking about. And a lot of times I did use my time wisely I would sometimes take notes on my phone, right? On my downtime and stuff like that. I would just jot notes down of things that came to my mind, or things that I was interested in, right? But after a while, I just became so passionate, you guys, and involved in, business and all of that stuff. And the number one thing as well that really drove me was that I started to make 5x, 4x times, what I make at work while being at home, right? And mind you, as a flight attendant, that means you are flying, you're traveling in different time zones, you're going to different cities. And for myself, as a mainline flight attendant, I was traveling all over the world, you guys, in different countries, all of that, which was great. Don't get me wrong, right? Being paid to network with people, travel the world, see the world, meeting new people, staying in really nice hotels, y'all, bomb hotels, y'all. Okay, I had a ball, okay? I had a ball. And by the way, I know some people wonder if flight attendants actually pay for their own hotels. No, we do not. We would probably be broke, okay? And if I had to pay for my own hotel as a flight attendant, I will probably not be a flight attendant, all right? So we get paid, you guys, to stay in some really nice hotels. And I loved when my husband was off as well. I could take him anywhere with me. Like I could take my husband on a long layover if I knew I had a long layover, wherever that may be. Like just a month ago, actually, I think it was 60 hours, 60. I had 60 hours in Argentina, you guys, 60 hours in Argentina. So of course I took my husband, y'all, absolutely free. My husband flew the equivalent of first class, but an upgrade from first class. Okay. I won't say what the class is, because if I say what the class is, y'all will figure out what airline. But my husband was able to travel real nice. Okay. Pre-departure drink, champagne, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? He traveled like a king on his way there and back. He kind of got lucky too, because sometimes the space is just not available, but it was a pretty empty flight and whichever. But I enjoy those moments when I'm able to take my husband to work with me. And now thinking about it too, I'm like, oh my gosh, those are the things I'm going to miss so much. But I just knew that it was time. When I'm traveling a lot, sometimes I travel for 3 days at a time. You guys, this trip was a 60-hour layover. So I was away for like 4 days, right? And when I'm away for that long, I'm not saying that I can't get anything done, but a lot of the things that I would want to get done while I'm at home or in my workspace or something, I can't get it done, right? So there was a lot that I was missing out on, and it only made sense, especially when I found out and I realized that I'm able to make more money, even passively. I'm not saying this to say that as soon as you start making money in your business, you should just go ahead and quit your job. Do not quit your job if it works for you, if it's providing you extra income, if you can leverage your job, right? The community, the people that you're able to network with. I did a lot of networking with being a flight attendant. I came across so many different people from so many different walks of life, you guys, and it also expanded and opened up a lot of different opportunities as well. So I'm not here telling you that, oh, if you start making 5x, 10x in your business, then you should just immediately quit your job. I'm not saying that. Some people decide to stay at their job even after becoming a millionaire, after making 6 figures in their business. It all depends on what works for you, right? And also, if your environment, let's say, is not a toxic environment and it's something that you can stick out for whatever reason, maybe that's your benefits, by all means, feel free to do that, okay? I know I share a lot about entrepreneurship, being your own boss, all of this stuff, but you want to make sure that you are planning accordingly and make sure that it makes sense for you. You know what I mean? So don't just go ahead and just jump up and quit your job just because. And by all means, do that too. If you feel like that is best for you, if you want to take the adventurous path. In a previous video, I talked about the different path to entrepreneurship. You have the strategist path, right? Where you actually have a strategy of how you're going to do this thing, how you're going to just get up and quit your job. You have the adventurous path. That's for people who just decide, there's no plan B. I'm just going to get up and quit my job and, yeah, I'm going to just put it all out there, right? And, you have the grinder's path. I was on that path for a while, y'all. I was grinding, okay? I was flying all over the place. I was working on my business and I was doing editing while I'm on the flight, while I'm at the flight gate waiting for my flight, just editing videos real quick while I'm in the lounge. I was on a grinder's path, y'all, for a second, okay? And I have thought about leaving my job for a while. It is a tough decision for me. It was a tough decision for me, you guys. And I have to be honest, I really cried, okay? I broke down the morning when I submitted my resignation letter because I knew the opportunity that my job gave me. I met some incredible people. I was able to go to all these random places that I probably would not have booked for myself, even though I was a traveler and still am. Before I even became a flight attendant, that's one of the reasons why I decided to become a flight attendant, was because I loved traveling so much, you guys. And I was traveling before that. But you guys, this job gave me the opportunity to go into random places like Boise, Idaho, which I don't think I would ever book a ticket to go there, but I had a blast when I went to Boise, Idaho, so little things like that. I appreciated the job for that reason, right? Just being able to go to random cities and random countries and all of that, and being able to experience that as well with my husband. But because I knew the journey that I was on and the path that I decided to take, I knew that I could not really continue with flying. I can't really focus on so many things at once. And if you've ever been in the travel industry, or if you are a flight attendant or used to be a flight attendant, you know how it is, okay? How chaotic that life can be, all right? It's not always glamorous. I know people look at it and they're like, oh, wow, you're a flight attendant, you travel the world, you get paid to travel the world. That is true, but it does come with a lot of cons, y'all. I won't even get into it in today's episode, y'all, but I've had some days, okay? I have had some times, all right? But like I said, we're not gonna get into that right now. If you have a friend who's a flight attendant, go ask that friend. I'm sure your friend have expressed his or her concerns, right, with you. It was a great opportunity, but I felt like it was time to just pursue business all out. I love being in the comfort of my own home and my own space. As a flight attendant, you don't really have that luxury, of being in your own space, being around the people that you love all the time. And you miss out on a lot of things. I mean, for a while, I didn't really care. I'll be honest. When I started flying, so I was a flight attendant for 4 years. Okay. I was a flight attendant for almost 4 years. I took off a lot for military reasons as well, because some of you guys know I still am in the Air Force Reserve as well. So I do that, right? So it's really, really part-time, right? And when I took off, I felt so good, y'all. And that's how I knew that, you know what, I really feel like I'm not going to do this for long. Now, don't get me wrong, when I just started flying, right, the first year of being a flight attendant, y'all, I was everywhere, okay? I was everywhere. I remember my second month on the line, I went to West Africa, Ghana, right? I went to Ghana. I was all over the place. I was away from home. I was the queen of picking trips up, all right? My friends used to be like, you are crazy. Like, I would not be at home, right? And honestly, I didn't have a reason really to, honestly, at that time, because I was just so excited about flying. I didn't have a pet, you know, children, a husband. I wasn't married at that time. So life was just exciting. I was just flying all over the place. But after a while, it started to have a toll on my body, right? Because I was traveling so much. And then literally like a year after that, you know, the big C happened, right? So I took the leave opportunity. My company that I was with was offering packages so that they didn't have to furlough people, which was really nice, right? They were offering like retirement packages and leave packages or just early exit packages, which were really, really good. And at the time I was tempted to take it, but I just decided to take the leave, which was initially like a 6-month leave, right? And it was so nice because I had just gotten married at the time. It was just so nice to actually just be at home, you know, with my husband. Like, we literally got married in February 2020. And literally like 3 weeks after that, everything just got shut down. So I was just like, OMG. That confirmed also that the Holy Spirit gave me that date, y'all, because y'all, if we chose another date after that, initially was supposed to be another date, like June or something for the wedding, it probably would not have happened. Okay. No, that's why it's good to be in tune, all right, with the Holy Spirit. But anyway, that's beside the point. So I realized during that time, while I was off, right, on leave, I realized how much I just loved being in my own space and my own home. At the time, I had purchased my home like 2 years before that or something like that. And I was just always away, right? Before becoming a flight attendant, I used to work a 9 to 5. I used to work in the financial industry. I worked at a credit union, and my commute was like an hour. That was my fault because I decided to buy a house that was like a whole hour away from my job, right? But, you know, I did that for different reasons, less taxes and all of that. So that was my reasoning. But anyway, I was away from home a lot. Like, I would leave early in the mornings, like, 7 a.m. And sometimes I wouldn't be back until like 8 p.m., 7 p.m., right? So I was always away, and I never really got the opportunity to really enjoy my home, right? But during this time, when the big C happened, those first 6 months, I was able to really appreciate my home, right? The home that I worked hard to acquire and all of that. And so it felt nice. I realized how much I appreciated being in my own space, especially with my husband, being with somebody that, I truly love, who I consider my best friend, right? So taking off really opened my eyes and made me realize some things, like how I actually wanted to live my life. So from that moment, I started to think about how I wanted to live my life on a daily basis. What did I want my life to look like on a regular, right? And that did not include flying often. That did not include being away for 6 days at a time, or for 4 days at a time, for 3 days at a time, which was my typical schedule. I'll go away for 3 days and come back for like 2 days, or 3 days or something like that, and then back at it. And so I decided to continue to work on and build my business. I've always been an entrepreneur at heart. Even when I was working my 9-to-5 job at the credit union, I was finding extra ways to make money. I was always just finding other things that gave me fulfillment, right, outside of just working a 9-to-5. So I knew that I was called to be an entrepreneur based on my lifestyle, how I lived my lifestyle, the visions that I had, right, the things that I do on a daily, the things that I would be working on a daily, right? I knew what I wanted my life to be like, and I knew that did not entail working, for somebody else forever, building their dreams and not having the time to build mine. Sometimes we fall behind, not making progress, because we're so busy and we're so caught up in building somebody else's dream that we don't find the time, and we don't have the time to work on our dreams, work on our passions, right? And execute, right? Because we go to work all day, we come home tired, okay? So tired that all you have time to do is just, get ready for bed, and that's it, right? But that's not how life is meant to be lived. I believe that, I can only speak for myself, can't really speak for anybody else, but I believe that my life is meant to be lived, pretty much on my own term, where I'm able to set my own schedule, right? I'm able to make whatever whatever I believe that I can make, right? That's what I believe. My mindset especially have shifted, within the last like year or so. I do have an abundant mindset, and I do believe that I have the capability to manifest whatever I want to make. I knew that I didn't want to live my life where I'm just living paycheck to paycheck, especially where somebody else, determines, right, how much money I make, working per hour. And that's a whole nother thing with being a flight attendant too, because you see us walking in the airport, in the concourse and all of that, greeting you. Y'all, flight attendants did not started getting paid for boarding. So when you come on the aircraft and we're greeting you and we're smiling with you and you're asking us for this and all of that stuff, flight attendants don't get paid for boarding. As a matter of fact, let me correct myself. As of June 2022, it's when flight attendants first started to get paid for boarding. June of 2022 is when flight attendants first started to get paid for boarding. I want you to process that, right? Flight attendants typically get paid after the boarding door has been closed, right? And when we're in flight, right? So those times in between time, between flight time and all of that, we're not getting paid for that. I mean, there is like per diem for every hour while we're away from base, but it's not as much as our hourly, so those are the things that I started to factor when my mindset started to shift. And when I started to create, these different income streams, especially passive income streams, I'm like, how does this make sense? I'm away for so many hours, but this is all that, I'm getting paid. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying the pay is, completely crap. The pay is pretty decent per hourly, y'all. It is way above average, way above the average hourly that you would get starting out at any, customer service job, right? The pay is, Again, I'm only speaking for my airline, the experience that I've had. I can't speak for other airlines. I can't speak for regional airlines, but I can only speak for mostly mainline airlines and in particularly my airlines, right? The hourly pay is pretty decent starting out, okay? You can do your own diligence. I'm sure it's somewhere out there on the internet, but keep in mind that regional pay is different from mainline pay. I was a mainline flight attendant, or like commercial airlines that does international routes and stuff. So for those airlines, they do pay pretty good starting out, you guys, per hour. So if you've been considering being a flight attendant, by all means, right? If you want to travel the world, I think it's a great opportunity. If you're trying to network, trying to travel the world, see some new places, just be out of your comfort zone for a little bit, spread your wings, by all means, go ahead and do it, right? So the pay wasn't bad, right? Per hourly. But when I started to, like I said before, you guys, I had a mindset shift. So you have to understand this, right? My mindset was no longer average. Right? My mindset was no longer average. So when I started to calculate and look at hourly comparing to what I'm able to make sitting at home doing absolutely nothing in business, and after doing research in regards to when I compare tax breaks with being an entrepreneur versus tax breaks as an employee, y'all, it is significant, okay? So if you have not started a business, I don't care if it's something that you're doing on this side in addition to your full-time job, please go ahead and do it, all right? So anyway, like I said before, I started to have a whole mindset shift, y'all. And I realized that with only flying, I would not be able to live the life that I visioned, that I wrote down on paper. I wasn't able to live the life that I dreamt of living. Y'all, right now I can get up, and I get up at around a regular time right now, y'all. I'm able to get up right now at a regular, consistent time. I'm able to get my workout in consistently. I'm able to take my chlorella. If you don't know anything about chlorella, go look it up, okay? It's the new high, all right? My chlorella, my sea moss. I'm able to have, a healthy, nice, healthy breakfast or whatever. I'm able to, check my calendar, see what clients I have to meet with, see what I have to do. It feels good to be on my own schedule, my own time. If I wanted to get up to travel across the world somewhere on my own time to work, I can do that, y'all. And it feels so good to even think about that and to even be saying that right now. But because I said that to say, while I was flying consistently, it was really hard to have a consistent schedule as a flight attendant. You can imagine you're traveling in different time zones. You're starting your day at odd times in the morning, finishing your day at odd times at night. It was really kind of hard to have a consistent flow, a consistent routine, right? And so after a while, my anxiety started just really getting high, y'all. I became anxious after a while. And, in addition to that, some of you, I've done a few vlogs here and there, so some of you may know that I did commute as well. So I was based in Atlanta. I was originally based in New York, and I lived in South Jersey at the time. So I was driving like 2 hours commute, right, to work, which is a whole nother story. That was a headache driving to New York, y'all. If you know anything about New York, you know that it is not fun driving in New York, okay? If you are from New York, you definitely know what it is like like driving to New York. So that was not fun. But then I moved to Texas, and after moving to Texas, the commute to New York was, y'all, it was too long. It was like 3 hours and a half. So I decided, you know what? I decided, let me change my base so that the commute is at least less and it's a lot easier. So I decided to change my base from New York to Atlanta. And so I was commuting from, from like Texas to Atlanta, which was a lot better. But the schedule, because Atlanta is such a senior base, the schedule was not the best. But my priority at that time was having a less commute time. Y'all, it's so crazy to say that my commute was flying to work, right? I mean, I remember when my commute was driving to work. Now my commute became flying to work. It is a common thing in the flight attendant world, y'all. I've met flight attendants who live all the way in Egypt and commutes to New York. I don't know why in the world. I don't know who would decide to do that. I don't know why he decided to do that. But y'all, this guy commutes from Egypt. I know people who commute from Paris to Detroit. People commute from all over the world. So it's the norm for flight attendants to not live in their base and to commute via flight, right? It's just the norm. And even after I became a flight attendant, I actually started to meet people who commuted, right, on a daily basis. So there are people who would get on the flight like 5 a.m. in the morning, a 6 a.m. in the morning flight, usually for like an hour flight or less or so. And then turn around and commuted back home the night of, y'all. So flight commute is the norm for a lot of people, a lot more people than you think. Anyway, commuting, after a while, I try to make the most of it. Like I said before, I try to maximize on my time. So while I'm waiting on my flight, I may be working on something. I may be sending an email. I may be checking an email. I may be writing notes. So I tried my best to maximize on my time. But after a while, I just knew that I wanted to just completely be focused on business. I realized that I wanted to dedicate 100% of my time to business. And so that's why I knew it was time. It was really, really hard, especially those free flights, y'all. I was able to travel across the country for free, and I was able to travel around the world for almost free. Okay, for like barely anything, for like some taxes, some change or something. So the flight benefits was what really kept me as well. It was really hard for me to be like, okay, let me just, quit. Honestly, if I was working somewhere else, like just a regular customer service job, I probably would have already quit, right? But the flight benefits and the experience is what definitely kept me. But it was a great experience, and like I said before, I met some incredible people. But I just wanted to share this with you guys. This is not the typical business video and all of that, but I just wanted to share a little bit about my journey, where I'm at right now. I just quit my job. September 2nd was my last day. September 2nd, 2022 was my last day as a mainline flight attendant. So far, I am loving the journey, and I'll keep you guys posted on what's to come. If you guys have any questions at all about the flight attendant life or anything, feel free to ask me in the comments below, and also be sure to hit that like button if you like today's episode. If you are on a quietly quitting journey as well, let me know in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts, right, about whether it's starting that new business, whether it's thinking about quitting your job, whatever it is. I want to know in the comments below. All right, but if you did like this episode, be sure to hit that like button, all right, as well as the subscription button and the notification bell as well. That way, whenever I post a new video, a new update, and all of that good stuff, you'll be the first to know. All right. Again, it's your girl, Shybivia. It was an absolute pleasure. Let's continue to grow those businesses and get financially healthy together. And I'll see you guys later. Be blessed. Bye.